everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of Fortnite. So, if you guys have seen my last video, you have seen that I've been talking about the speculation of where the new city is going to be located. So once I've done that video, I've edited all of it, I've uploaded it to YouTube. Those sneaky Fortnite bastards have uploaded an actual video update showing us some sneak peeks of the new city, as well as I think I found the actual location of where the city is going to go. So basically what we're going to do in this video is just go through the update that they've released for us, and we can just kind of talk about it, start the discussion, and see what they have in store for Fortnite. So how about I'm just going to play that video so you guys can see, just in case you missed it, and then we can talk about everything that they've said.
What are we going to see with the map update?
So we've got a map update coming up with a bunch of new points of interest, including the city, as well as a bunch of new named areas on the west side of the map. We felt that it was a little bit light on points of interest, so we wanted to kind of even the island out and make it feel like there were more locations to drop into. We've also separated the map into more clearly defined what we call biomes. The swamp feels swampier, the mountains feel more mountainy. Really, the different areas of the map feel more unique. There's also a bunch of additional quality of life improvements. These are work in progress. We're always continuing to make updates to the map. So keep the feedback coming and let us know what you'd like to see us improve.
Can we keep the Christmas tree loot after the Christmas event ends?
So with the end of the holiday event, we're going to be removing the Christmas trees and the treasure chests that spawn next to them. This was for two reasons. The first reason is the event is over. The second reason is with all of the additional points of interest on the map update, we've got a lot more treasure chests, a lot more ammo crates, and we wanted to make sure that loot was distributed evenly so that there isn't too much additional rare loot in the match. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on that, and if we need to make adjustments to the treasure chest and ammo spawn rates, we'll be looking at that and doing so. It's possible that we may add more event-specific treasure chests and locations down the road.
So as you guys can see, they showed us some glimpses of the new city, and my first impressions, I have to say, the city is a little bit smaller and a little bit more open than I expected it to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still gonna make for some amazing gameplay in that city. I already saw a little chest, as you guys can see from this screenshot, in the clock tower, so you guys already know where to drop. Drop straight for the clock tower and you can get a cheeky chest brought to you by Varak. That's right. So as you can see, there's a little underground area as well. It makes me kind of think, hey, maybe that's going to be the entrance to the tunnels, but as you can see, there's an exit on the other side, so I think it's just gonna be a small underpass, maybe a little loot spawn underneath there, maybe a potential chest, maybe a hidden room like it is in the right next to Tomato Town. I think that would be kind of interesting. So as you can see, there isn't like a huge amount of buildings, but a lot of the buildings are multi-story buildings, so obviously you're gonna have a lot of vertical gameplay, which is gonna be a ton of fun. You've got some cars scattered around, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised there isn't a lot more cover around the streets. I think it would be kind of cool to see that, but then at the end of the day, you can still build in Fortnite, so you can make your own cover. So in the next little clip that I'm gonna play for you guys, as you can see, we have an office building, which I assume is going to be inside the new city. They are talking about adding new points of interest, but I don't think that's gonna be one of those points of interest, because as you can see on the outside, you can clearly see that it's a big city. So I think that's gonna be located right in the middle of the city somewhere, and I gotta say, I like the little attention to details. I'm kind of excited for playing around in the city. I think it might be my new favorite job. I know it's going to be quite hot, because I will show you guys that this city is indeed going to be located right bang on in the middle of the map, basically south of Loot Lake, which I'll show you guys and explain that to you in just a second, which was actually one of the locations that I have predicted in between Greasy Grove and Pleasant Park. So as you guys can see from this screenshot right here of the city, as you can see, it's one of the corners and it's overlooking Loot Lake, because obviously there's only one big lake in this game, and as you can see, you've got the middle island in the background, and just behind that you'll have the other one where you had sometimes the triple chest spawn. And simply, if you look at the map, you'll notice that the only way you could see those two in the background is this if you take this screenshot from the south side of Loot Lake, which is where I kind of expected this thing to be. And it is kind of like in the middle, but slightly on the western side of the map, hopefully making this a more appealing spawn. And they are also talking about just populating the western side of the map, which was one of my big complaints in my last video. That's kind of what I wanted them to do, and it looks like that's exactly what they are doing, which is kind of fantastic to see. I'm very excited for that. But yeah, it's basically gonna be right next to the river, so I'm not sure if the river is going to be flowing through the city, maybe like an underground sewer system, or if it's just going to be to the side of it. I personally think it will be just to the side of it, the way these screenshots are looking. But I'm not gonna lie, I do like the location of this new city, simply because quite often it could mean that the zone is gonna end close to it, which is going to make for some very interesting combat. And I just can't wait to see some incredibly tall bases on the rooftops of all of these skyscrapers. I think that would be kind of epic if the battle comes down to the city, if you have massive bases on top of the skyscrapers and people trying to battle it out to win the game. So that is kind of interesting what they are doing with the city. I'm kind of excited for it, I'm not gonna lie. I hope you guys are excited for it as well. Obviously they haven't revealed the name of the city, so keep those names coming in the comments down below. Let's see what they're actually going to name this. But how about we move on to the other things that they've talked about, other points of interest and all the other changes that they're making to the map. So as you can see from this screenshot, they are showing us a little motel, and I'm not gonna lie, this motel actually looks kind of cool. I like it a lot. I just like that they're adding more things to Fortnite. So this I expect is gonna be on the west side, because as you can see, it's kind of a mountainous area, so I assume it's gonna be maybe in the between the mountainous area and the right side of the map. So if we move on to the other screenshot that they've showed us, we have a boneyard right here, as you guys can see. Another really cool looking location. As you can see, there's a lot of pine trees in the background, so once again I expect this to be the west side of the map once again, because they are talking about making the biomes a little bit more unique, so you know if you go into a certain biome, you know which biome you are in. And I expect the west side of the map to be more of a mountainous, pine trees, maybe darker grass type of area, and it looks like that's exactly where this is going to be. So here's another screenshot of the scrapyard. I mean, you're gonna get a lot of metal. Like, if you want to build some amazing bases, Scrapyard is going to be the place to drop, to just loot up all that metal so you can build some incredible structures in Battle Royale. You can see a little shotgun spawn right there and a loot location to the left in the building, and I do see some more glow inside, so I assume there's going to be like a couple of maybe 3 chests in that complex. I'm not sure how big that building is going to be. It's kind of hard to tell because it's a tiny little glimpse, but we will see. We will just have to wait and see for the update to drop. So here's another screenshot of what I think is going to be the inside of that building that we just talked about in the scrapyard. So as you can see, it does look pretty cool. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Flash Factory. As you can see, you've got a chest spawn up top, and I assume there's going to be a chest spawn in the little room down below as well. So it's kind of a cool location, and it does look kind of big on the inside, so I assume the building is going to be quite big as well, kind of comparable to Flash Factory. So here you guys can see another screenshot of the scrapyard, and as you can see, there's just so much metal over here. So like I said, if you drop for this location, you're gonna be set for days. You can see a tiny little crane to the right, as well as a small little building. I assume maybe a chest spawn is going to be on the inside, and on the left, I assume that's what the big building is going to be. So not much to say here. It's just a cool looking location. Look forward to exploring a little bit more and seeing if there's maybe some potential hidden secrets lurking on the inside of the scrapyard. So another cool little screenshot that they showed us are the big tall pine trees, and I do have to say they look pretty spectacular. I really like them, and I like the idea of them actually trying to make the biomes seem more unique. I think it's gonna add like a little bit more variety to Fortnite, which is exactly what we need. And like I kind of predicted, they are not actually adding any landmass to this map. I think they're just gonna add points of interest, trying to populate it as much as they can, but they are also talking about removing some of the rare loot spawns. So I think it's gonna be a little bit harder to get the higher tier weapons from now on with the new update, but I guess we'll have to just wait and see how that's gonna play out. If you enjoyed this and would like to see more of these types of videos, then let me know in the comments down below, and also by leaving a like on this video. Make sure to subscribe for plenty more Fortnite content, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Hope you're gonna have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, goodbye. Bye bye.